So I hope you're challenged to take a real look at who Jesus is. I hope that maybe you've been confronted with the possibility of a false preconceived notion that you've had about Christ. I think it's a healthy thing to read Scripture and say, you know what, maybe I've missed a few things here. Maybe I've bought into some things that were more about religion or heritage or tradition than they were about what Christ actually said defines him. And so this morning, let's look at meekness. Christ has said this is the proof that you have an inheritance, if meekness is present in your life. So what is meekness? Simple definition of the word meek is to be gentle, submissive, and fully surrendered. Meek means to be gentle, submissive, fully surrendered. So biblical meekness is that you are fully convinced that God is in control, that His plan is better than anything you could ever dream or bring about, and so therefore you are fully submissive. Biblical meekness is that you've reached the point in your life, you're fully convinced that Christ is the only way, that God is in control. Therefore, you are fully submissive. You're no longer fighting for your way. You've given that up long ago. You're no longer trying to implement your plan. You've realized the frailty of that. You're no longer trying to hold on to your power. You're no longer trying to build your kingdom. You're just trusting Him one step at a time, no matter the outcome, no matter the results. Meekness is a condition of your heart. You're fully surrendered to Christ because you know there's no other way. There's no other competing force that can offer anything else of value. Jesus said that's one of the characteristics of those who are waiting for their inheritance. So now that we know what meekness is, let's talk about what meekness is not. Because, friends, I'll be honest with you, one of the most misunderstood terms in all the Bible is the term meekness. I think so many people they confuse it with weakness. Right? They think to be meek means that you're a sissy, right? Or you're given up, or you're a doormat that people just trample on over. Or maybe they even think you're just a nice person. If you're meek, you're just nice. You just let people have their way. Friends, let me be honest with you this morning. Meekness is one of the greatest signs of power and strength and courage. Because let me tell you this, friends, if you're having a hard time knowing what meekness really means, let me tell you this. The greatest act of bravery you will ever commit is to die to yourself. I mean, that's it. You want to know what courage looks like? Look at someone who's fully surrendered to Christ and is no longer living for themselves. I mean, from the outside, you might call it weak, or you might call it, religious radicalism or whatever, but friends, it's courage. Greatest act of bravery you'll ever do is to die to yourself and trust that God is in control. You don't have to be right. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to fight for anything. You don't have to build anything. You don't have to accomplish anything. All you simply do is by faith and obedience, one step at a time, say, I know Christ is in me. I know that I have an inheritance. I know that God is in control, and I don't need anything else but that.